the Ignition Designer has a lot of stuff going on inside of it, but everything's organized into individual panes. You can see here in the Designer we have a big Getting Started area, and this will be the main development area once you have a resource open. But along the left and right hand sides you have additional panes to control information. In the upper left hand corner we have the project browser, which lists out each individual section available in the Designer, like your Windows transaction groups, which templates you've got, scripts, and even your global section here, which you can expand to see what's available. Below that we have a tag browser, which shows all the different tags that we have in the system, and a property editor down at the very bottom, which will change depending on what resource we have selected. Over on the right hand side we have our component palette, which lists all the different components that are available. Now this display will even change if you go to different sections. For example, if I click on the transaction groups section here, you can see it modifies itself slightly in order to best be used for transaction groups. Now regardless of what you have selected, you can modify how these guys work. So for example, I can go to my tag browser, and you can see that there is a pop-out button and a pin button. So I can pop out the tag browser here, drag it around the screen, and I can go to my project browser here and I can pin that. So now you can see it's over on the side, and if I mouse over it, it'll expand or hide itself. And we can do this with all of them if we wanted to. I can send my tag browser back, pin that guy in, and do the same for my component palette. So now I have a very large area to work with. Additionally, if you have individual panels here, you can click and drag them around. Let me unpin this guy. I can click and drag it around, and you can see as I get close to edges, it's going to try to pin itself to the side or to the bottom or wherever you're at. And if you don't want it to do this, you can hold the Control key down on your keyboard, and then as you move it around, it's not going to try to pin anywhere, so you can put it exactly where you want. Now these panels don't actually have to be inside the Designer. I can move my Designer over here, grab my tag browser panel, and drag it outside of the Designer. Now here you can see if you had multiple different monitors, you could pull all of these different panels out to the other screen. Now if something happens and you lost one, or you've closed it and you want to get it back and you can't remember how, the easiest way is to go up to the menu bar at the top and go to View, and then there's a Reset Panels button. If you click on that, it'll put everything back to the default. If you wanted to pull in just one particular panel or toolbar, you can go into the View in the menu bar and under Panels, and then pick out individual ones. You can see there are some here like the Pipeline Block Editor. It really only makes sense when you're looking at pipelines, but you could have any of them. And under toolbars we have the main, the shaping, drawing tools, all those guys. And those are up along the top edge here and down the left hand side. Alternatively, this list of panels is available down at the very bottom here in the lower left hand corner. If I select this little button, you can see here's our list as well as a Reset Panels button.